Hello and welcome everyone to stdVBA, the gateway to modern VBA programming. In this episode, Standard Callback. Standard Callback is a way of implementing callbacks in VBA. Callbacks are mechanisms that allow deferred, late-bound execution of code. Typically, callbacks are implemented using first-class functions, which isn't something we have access to in VBA. Instead, we can use standard callback to define callable objects from existing functions. Imagine you have a collection of shapes, and it's your job to filter out a specific subset of shapes. First, you're asked to filter out squares, then triangles, then yellow shapes, then red triangles. You might find yourself frustrated that each time you write a report to filter down these objects, you create another 7 lines of the same kind of code, and you only really modify one line, the condition. Well, imagine for a moment that we could bake these conditions into specific functions, and then pass that function as a parameter to a generic filter function, filter shapes. Is yellow here is a callback, because it is passed as an argument to another function, filter shapes, which later calls it during execution. Callbacks used in this way help decouple logic, improving readability and maintainability by reducing code duplication. Unfortunately, VBA does not natively support passing functions as arguments. However, standard callback allows us to encapsulate functions into callable objects, making it possible to pass them as parameters. With a few tweaks, our code becomes valid VBA. So this is pretty good, but it can be made better still by utilizing the bind method. Instead of writing a separate function for each individual condition, we can create generic condition functions that can be applied to multiple filtering operations. Using bind, we can prepend parameters to the start of standard callback calls. This allows us to dynamically generate filters without needing to define separate functions like isGreen or isSquare. With this approach, we can eliminate all those additional function definitions while keeping the code flexible and maintainable. Let's define a generic isColor and isType function to check the color and shape type respectively. And just like that, you can see we've trimmed down our initial growing code block of 40 lines to a fixed 20 lines of elegant code. Join us next time to see how this code could be improved even further with Standard Lambda. Thanks for watching.